So everyone is well aware of Ozzy's passing by now. It's been in 2 days. And I had to chime in a little bit. I just wanted to get this off my chest personally. I was never a huge Ozzy fan or a Black Sabbath fan. I have listened to them over the years on X1039 and 96.7 KCAL Rock in my local rock stations. Occasionally I do get the itch to just listen to like Iron Man or War Pigs or, Mr. Crowley. Recently, Mr. Crowley. But I never really sat down and I'm going to bump Ozzy for 6 months straight type of deal. However, I've been going to Ozzfest since I think 98, 99, since my 8th or 9th grade. I've seen Ozzy since 98 all the way to about 2008 straight, about 10 years, maybe 9 years of Ozzfest in a row. And that's where I'm at. I want to talk about these two Ozzfest in particular. 2004 and 2006 Ozzfest. I mean, some of the bands on here: Unearthed, Every Time I Die, Devil Driver, Throwdown, Full Blown Chaos, The Red Chord, Bleeding Through, Norma Jean, Walls of Jericho, Avenged Sevenfold, System of a Down, Slayer, Demon Borger, Slipknot, Atreyu, Superjoint Ritual. There's so many. Lacuna Coil, so much. A Life Once Lost, so much going on these two Ozzfests. This pretty much shaped my entire adult. I still listen to some of these bands. I would just add a Bleeding Through and Unearthed show a few days ago. And it's absolutely wild to me that they don't simply Warped Tour, cannot replicate. Sick New World cannot replicate this. They simply cannot replicate what the fans want. They simply can't. The closest thing we have to anything of a replication currently is Sound and Fury. These two Ozzfest in particular go down in the hardcore, metalcore, and just metal as probably some of the best Ozzfest I think he ever produced. And much credit to Ozzy for doing that. I mean, he didn't have to go down and bring up bands like Bleeding Through, who is relatively small, bring up, A Life Once Lost, bring up Unearthed or Atreyu or any of these bands. He didn't have to go down and get them. For me, personally, Ozzfest, he was never about the money. It was just about the rock and roll and having a good time. And now that he's passed, there is nobody else to replace him. Nobody even comes close to replacing the Ozman. I mean, a true legend, man. I mean, I got to tip my hat to him. Again, I never really got into his music 100%. I was more into Metallica, early Pantera, Slayer. That's what I grew up with personally listening to. And they liked Ozzy, and I was well aware of Ozzy then. But once I got my teeth into Korn and Limp Bizkit and bands of the nature coming up, Slipknot, that's where I went off into. And again, I mean, it's a tip of the hat to him, because without him, some of those bands don't even exist. Marilyn Manson and so on. And it's just as a metalhead myself, as somebody that spends most of my time listening to these songs, listening to these bands, still going to underground shows, I personally don't see anybody in the landscape that has the largeness, that is the draw that Ozzy had, the reach he has, the accessibility that he has, and the desire and the love of the game that he has. Nobody has it. Not Manson. Metallica is unaccessible to the most younger generation bands. System of a Down does what System of a Down does, but they're also, to me, I think, unaccessible. Korn is kind of accessible. System of a Down is kind of accessible, but I don't believe they have the love of the game. They simply won't go and just tour for no reason. It's more monetary driven. And that's just what I mean. Ozzy wasn't about the money. It wasn't about, hey, I'm tired, hey, I'm old, nothing. He just did it for the love of the game. And because he wanted to be a part of bring everybody up. He wanted to see everybody successful. And that's just crazy to me that there's whole bands out there. I don't Metallica. What are they doing? They could have picked up his mantle a long time ago. Slipknot does, but then Slipknot has kind of weaned off of what is actually good and what is actually not good. Not Fest is running around, but they don't do Not Fest for the little bands anymore. It's a lot of it is based off of who's bigger in popularity. Mayhem Fest just recently came out. It was big. It was a big Spotify fest of rock music. That's what it was. And it's just Ozzy was willing to take those chances. Like, hey, yeah, you're a good, heavy young band, and people are into you. We see the crowds at your shows. Hey, hop on Ozzfest, run with us throughout the summer, and let's bang some heads. Let's start some pits. And that he didn't even care. And it's just, to me, it's sad that he's gone. You know, looking back, I seen him all them years. I remember I seen Black Sabbath, and I was really excited to see that because I was like, wow, when am I ever going to see this? And then, you know, I kind of shelved them again. I seen Ozzy play Mr. Crowley a bunch of times. Never once did I think, hey, that would be the last time I seen Ozzy. But yeah, never once did I think that was the last time I was going to see Ozzy. And not a thought in my head of like, hey, you know, I should take it in, soak it in a little bit more. But whatever. Again, yeah, I gotta get a tip of the hat to the man Ozzy. Again, I've been at this heavy music and going to concerts and listening to heavy metal since I was probably 4th grade, 5th grade. I'm like 40 now. However long that is, like 30 years. It's sad to see him go, actually. Incredibly sad. Y'all have seen the video of him singing Mama, I'm Coming Home for the last time, and that girl crying on the video. Truly sad. What's devastating to me personally is there's nobody to pick up his mantle. There's no passing of the baton here. There's just not a passing of the baton. There isn't. Like, what the fuck? That's what's actually fucking doing it for me. Like, damn, there's nobody even close to this. Nobody. Like, I don't know. There's no passing of the baton here. It's just incredibly fucked. Anyways, this video was like 7 minutes long. Long as hell. Way longer than I thought I was going to make it. But these two outfits pretty much shaped my entire life. I still listen to Bleeding Through. I just saw Walls of Jericho last October. Unearthed. I'm going to see Throw It Out in October. I seen Atreyu last year as well with 18 Visions. Hatebreed as well last year. You know, I love me System of a Down still. You know, and I still listen to Demon Border in so many other bands on this list. Full Blown Chaos I haven't listened to in a while, but maybe I'll go take a listen. Again, in 2004, 2006 was just a wild affair, man. Just looking at it. Just looking at these two lineups is insane. Anyways, rest well, Oz. Rock hard wherever you're at. Keep rocking.